Well, hey now, folks. John Duffin here. Duffin Media, Duffin Coaching. Playing around with some special effects on this live, which I just pretty much burst onto the scene. Welcome aboard, folks. Happy Friday. I'm switching out of this circle. All right. I don't know. I'm more comfortable with this, but I may play around with these techniques for a little bit. By the way, I got to throw a major shout out to my man, superstar coach, superstar lender, Chad Levine, who inspired me to jump on live today. Why? Because pretty much I've been sitting here playing around with effects, and I saw Chad do a live stream, and it looked so cool. So I love the fact that he has become a master of StreamYard. So I'm now keeping up with him. And as you notice, I'm just playing around with the settings. I happened to like when I saw Chad Levine's setting yesterday. So shout out to him, right? I'm messing around with colors and fonts and whatever. But you can know. Here's what's going on. Next week, this is simply a preview. I jump back live. We've talked about my 5-day blitz where you get to optimize your communications by leveraging your voice. We mean it, which means simply that you, by using my communications tips that are proven, have been used, have tangible results that have carried me, my clients, and colleagues over 25 years plus of success in the television creative, sales, and sales management fields. I get to throw at you. So, well, I mean, I'll throw them to you nicely. But here's what it does, which is by utilizing these tips, my pledge to you is that when you do, you're going to be able to see and feel the difference instantly, same day. These are very short-term tweaks that we have in mind. Now, the fun part is they're all built around a system, a full-on system. You've heard me say it, and it's still very much in play. The hyper-authenticity business blueprint. That's what I bring to the table. That's my mantra here. It's the hyper-authenticity business blueprint. And by the way, folks, if you happen to be on Facebook, if you happen to be on LinkedIn, if you happen to be on YouTube, give me a yell, give me a wave. Let me know that you're here, and I will happily acknowledge you, right? So again, we always want to keep this interactive. This is a brief hello today. Listen, I got a message for you, and I'm going to shout out an organization that helped me realize this or reminded me this week. The organization, AUSA. I was lucky enough to attend a conference this past week in Washington, D.C., helping Army officials, officers, personnel transition from active service life to the business field. That's what I got to witness. So I'm at a conference. It was great at not a roundtable, but at a specific workshop talking about transitioning one field from another. So my quick heads up today is inspired by the AUSA setup. Patrick J. Murphy from Pennsylvania, an entrepreneur, has helped so much in regards to the Pennsylvania political landscape, was the keynote speaker, and he crushed it. But there were a lot of key people of that, in essence, that panel that had a ton of tips. So here, by the way, a lot of rambling, just to simply throw you a tip. I got to share with you one thing. It's going to sound cautionary. It is. But there's hope with this as well, too. What's the cautionary tip? If you are transitioning, meaning from job to job or industry to another industry, heck, even transferring or transitioning to a promotion, or even more concerning, if you're worried that you're not being heard or you're not being appreciated or valued, that weird feeling that I'm afraid I'm going to lose my seat, whether it's at the boardroom table or the company at all. This time of year is notorious for people losing jobs. So, what I get to do here is remind you this, the cautionary tale. You have to do way more work in regards to conveying your value as to why someone would want to hire you, promote you, keep you, or even give you the forum of a full on conversation. So remember, you've got to do way more. That's the cautionary tale. You cannot hope that employers or industries or colleagues or whoever is hearing what you do is going to put the stories together and figure out, oh, this person's a good fit. You've heard the classic elevator pitches. I am really on the fence with the value of those, meaning raw elevator pitches where you simply just yell out factoids or throw data at people. Here's the deal. Companies, people are busy. They're just busy. And you know what busy can sometimes translate to? Lazy. Sorry, folks, I don't mean to throw that out. And I mean lazy, meaning they're not going to help you solve the riddle, even if they're the ones with the need. That's one of the industry things that I've learned, that even when companies are putting out job opportunities or hiring people for interviews or screening candidates, they don't try that hard. Why? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's because they're so busy and have so much on their mind, they can't guess what you do. Your resume certainly isn't going to solve that. It may help. And we're going to talk about that, folks. Here's the fun part. Next week, we're going to do a 5-day series. Yeah, why not? We'll do the whole 5-day series. If I'm going to put Duffin Coaching's 5-day blitz here, I guess I got to come up with 5 days of tips. That's easy. That's easy for me. But I just, the cautionary tale. I sent them a resume. Hello. I sent them a resume. I sent them to my LinkedIn profile or whatever. Hey, if you're hearing me on LinkedIn today live, give me a wave, give me a shout out. I'd love to acknowledge you. But again, you have to hope that whoever is trying to get your message, that they're going to read your data, read your resume, watch your post, and they may do so, but they're not going to do it with the passion, the heart, or the diligence that you do. So there's your cautionary tale. Companies often are not going to do the work. They're going to have a need, and then part two, it is your job. Before you land the job, before you land the promotion, even to get to the interview point, which is a big deal, it is your job to fill in the holes. It sounds daunting, right? It's not. It's not. That's the good news. That's the hope I'm bringing today, okay? The hope is that you do not have to panic or worry, or even better, guess. So, it's up to you to fill in the holes. It's up to you to paint a story that, and hear me out here, that story has to resonate with the other person. Here's your tip for today. It only matters if it matters to them. I did this, and I did that, and then I did this, and then I did that. Sorry, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Maybe someone will ask a question, but even their questions when you're sitting there, when it's typically a reading your resume in front of you out loud sort of a question, they're not interested. If you're around, if you're paying attention to this call right now, I'm grateful that you are. Thank you. And it's a reminder, you got to fill in the holes. So next week when we communicate, here's the homework assignment. Number one, think about ways that you can make your specific examples hum. These are accomplishments. If you're shy, you got to break out of the shyness code. However, when you tell a story only resonates if it's a couple of things. If it's data driven, meaning it has some teeth, empty headed platitudes don't do it. 2, it's got to be engaging. The other person actually has to care. 3, how do you get them to care? Do your homework. When we talk next week, that's what we're going to do. Do your homework when you get a chance to be in a room. Heck, I got this chance this past Monday. The only reason I knew that the keynote speaker of this presentation was the keynote speaker was because I did some homework. That's all it was. How long does homework take? Not that long, but it's always worth doing. So I knew going into the room that I was going to look out for Patrick J. Murphy, and I was really excited about that. And I got to say hello, and he's great. He is great. Hosts a podcast, great entrepreneur, honest to God, remembers everything. It's the coolest, and has done spectacular things. But I knew that. I didn't just wander into a conference with what I believe was close to 30,000 people and hope for the best. Hey, here's one more tip for today when you're meeting people that I just learned. So I have become way more tech savvy than I used to be. And I'm going to guarantee you, folks, that ain't saying much. I used to be almost helpless. It's embarrassing. I'm way better than I was, but not necessarily great. But here's the tech savvy part that didn't pay off. I use a fantastic, because someone referred it to me and it works, electronic off my phone, business card, scan my QR code, goes to my page. You get all your contact information. Just click this button, blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal. I'm in the convention center. I'm thinking I'm all that because I've got this handy dandy communication space. A ton of people either didn't feel like taking my picture on the phone, or when they took the picture, it didn't work perfectly because the Wi-Fi signal was not great. So what's the life lesson? Here's one more random, well, they're not, shout out to my colleague, voiceover pro, live professional MC narrator, Lisa Leonard, talking about getting her new business cards. Old school business cards. Your tip, you're meeting people, have them. Have them. I did not. Shame on me. I've been doing this for over 25 years, and I like to think I'm pretty good at this, but didn't have them. Now, I did all my follow-up, and I did all my prep, and blah, 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 but there was a couple of opportunities during the day where if I had just had a damn business card, right? Crazy. You can get them typically same day, next day. Print them yourself. They're not expensive. Get the business card. Oh, my God. So how about this? This is one of the coolest parts, right? Of just saying, like, let's call it manifesting. Lisa Leonard, voiceover pro, live host and MC. We were having this conversation earlier in regards to, is MC the classic letters MC like Mariah Carey, or EMCEE? Well, we'll let that be. I am such a fan of Lisa Leonard, and Lisa Leonard earlier was talking about business cards. That's where it came from. So Lisa, you just tuned in. It was my own reminder. I wanted to go all tech savvy with my electronic business card and just click this and just QR that and just take the photo. And it was turning into a science project. And it's like, John, where are your business cards? So Lisa Leonard had put up a post about business cards, one side or two sides. And thank you for that. But I'm saying, have your business cards. Do the work that you need to do. People on the opposite side clients, colleagues, new friends, whatever. They're just not going to work that hard. And it's not their fault. You can't make somebody work harder. You have to make them care. You have to give them a reason. So when you are communicating, right, the lessons, what we're going to be doing next week, the tips, all tied to engagement. My big four in regards to the hyper authenticity business blueprint, which are your $1 million marathon mindset, your physicality, game day physicality, we'll call it, your connection, your love connection. So that's from the old show, if anybody remembers. And tech talk, getting your tech straight, like we were talking about in terms of business cards, right? Whether it's in front of a camera, whether it's in front of a mic, whether it's in a room, wherever you are, you don't get unlimited opportunities to convey your message. Nobody's got that kind of time or that bandwidth. So my tips for just today, right? Brief and easy. Take these away with you for the day. Challenging, but not daunting. So here you go. Number one, remember the opposite side. And I don't mean opposite side, enemy political. I mean whoever you're trying to communicate with. Often, unless they're your best friend, here you go, are not going to try that hard. They're just not. They're not going to need to do all the homework to get to know you or figure out how you can help an organization. You have to help them. Point number two, which will go in a way more detail next week. Knowing that you have to do the work. How do you do the work so that it matters to someone else? Meaning making you, their needs, your accomplishments engaging. Because number three, it only matters if it matters to them. So I'm going to leave you with this, which is remember, when you're meeting somebody in business, your accomplishments mean nothing if they don't care. Your accomplishments mean nothing if they don't know. And if it's too complicated to figure out, do you think they're going to do all that homework? I'm going to tell you they're not. They're just not. The most important lesson I can leave you with today is this. I'll bet you, more often than not, that you have accomplishments that are transferable. I'll bet you do. The key is somebody has to know how they're going to work with somebody. And this is the encouraging part when we talk. Honest to God, those traits, skills, accomplishments, those results-driven success stories, I'm throwing you a few clues here, all are transferable, all of them, by doing some homework that you do not need to take college courses. I took long enough to graduate college, but just know that, again, the big three as regards to tips today, they're not going to do your homework for you. You have to do your homework. Number two, you have to do homework that matters to the other person, person's organization, right? Because three, it only matters if it matters to them. The great part, what I get to convey, what I get to remind you, you can do this. There's no, you can absolutely do this. That doing your homework part, we'll talk more next week. Ways to systemically make certain that the effort that you're putting out in preparation pays off. Number two, that you don't overtax yourself so that you have so much background, you don't know how to apply it in a specific, maybe 30-second or 60-second or, I don't know, 5-minute communication. And you'll become a great detective by being a great listener. You listen well, you do some homework, you prove that you've done a little bit of homework. Honest to God, everybody can be a great detective. I was saying, oh, it's Matlock, the new show that's on, the new old show that's on, right? You'll become Matlock. So that's what you got. Take this away. You got to work a little bit harder, but it ain't that hard. And when you do that, you'll be able to optimize your communications by leveraging your voice I am thrilled that you let me just barge in to your social media today. I'll keep this replay up, and it's a reminder. You'll also see an invite for Monday where I'll be glad to show up, and we'll go through another top 3 sequence in terms of my best communications tips that will make you money, right? That's all we're going to do is make you money, get you where you need to be, and not get you lost in the crowd. John Duffin here with Duffin Media and Duffin Coaching. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We will definitely talk soon. I'll see you later. Bye.